This next video is a webinar that we did on sales reports. There are 4 different sales reports that we're going to talk about today that aren't your everyday common reports that you run, but they're very beneficial reports that I want to talk about and make you aware of. So to run these reports, you can be at the top level of your organization, or you can be at the individual store level if you're just running it for that store. First one that we're going to talk about is the Sales by SKU report. To get to the Sales by SKU report, you can click on Reporting, Sales, and Sales by SKU. This is a great report that more and more people are starting to use. How you can use it: you come in over the weekend, you want to know exactly what you sold over the weekend, or you want to know what SKUs that you've sold for the last week. This is a great report to run just to strictly show you the sales by SKU sorted by either supplier or class, and it'll show you exactly what SKUs and quantities in each sizes that you've sold for that period that you selected. So we're in the Sales by SKU report. You always have the report name. If you wanted to create a report and save it, you could name that report to the right of report name. The output method default is always PDF. That just means that you're going to run it in a report format and look at it as a report. You could also do it as Excel or CSV. You have 2 different tabs, the report options and the report criteria tab. Real simple, not a lot of things to choose from. The first section is how do you want to sort the results. So in order of, you can click on the drop down and choose supplier, location, or class. I'd say the most common one is sorting this report by supplier. That way it'll list the supplier, it will list all of the SKUs that you've sold within that supplier, and then move on to the next supplier with those SKUs. The next part is what period would you like to analyze. It's a sales period. So if you click on the drop down, you have many choices to choose from. Week to date, previous week, month to date, previous month. Even have yesterday, today, and selected dates where you can just simply put a date range in that you want to look at. I'm going to go ahead and choose previous week because I want to look at the SKUs that I've sold the last week. The next text box is what fields do you want to include. If you want to include the retail price and include returns that were done, go ahead and check these. You have which format would you like to use. You have the columnar format or the size grid format. The most common one I would say would be the size grid format. Then you can move to report criteria. Since I'm at the top level, you'll see the by store and the by store state. If I was at the store level, say I was at store 1, you wouldn't see this because it's only going to be printing out the report for store 1. So here, since I'm at the top level, I'm going to go ahead and choose a particular store. If you wanted to do all your stores, you could just leave it blank. I'm going to choose store 1. You could do just certain suppliers or certain classes, colors, SKUs. If you have any product custom entries, you can do product custom entries. You can do it by return code, or you can exclude any of this criteria. If you wanted to do everything but a particular supplier or suppliers, you could put those suppliers in and click on exclude. When you're ready to run the report, we're just going to click on Add Job and Run. This will bring you to the report history where you can select that report. So we're going to go ahead and select the Sales by SKU report, and we're going to open it up, and that'll bring it up on the screen. So here it is, a Sales by SKU report. If you wanted to make this report bigger, you could stretch the window. You can also click on the zoom in and make the report bigger as well. You can scroll down, use the scroll bar to the right. And as you can see, it shows the supplier, which is Adidas, and then it starts with each SKU under Adidas. So it'll show the SKU, it'll show the sizes, and it'll show the quantity of each size that you sold this last week, since that's a period we chose. You're going to see your total, and then you're going to see the retail to the right. When you're to your next supplier, you'll see that in blue, and then all of the SKUs under that supplier that you sold, and the quantity of each size that you sold. If you want to get to the last page of the report, you can click on the icon that says last page, and that'll bring you to the very last page, and you can see the complete totals. And it'll show that store and the total quantities that you sold. After each supplier, it's going to have that supplier and then also the totals for that supplier. If I want to go back to the top, I can click on first page. That brings me back to the top. I could save this somewhere to my hard drive by clicking on Save a Copy. I could print it directly to the printer by clicking on the printer icon. I could email this to somebody. I could also search for something on this report if I wanted to click on the search icon. So as you can see, this gives you a neat report to be able to just see exactly what you've sold for the period that you selected.